Hey guys, Leash here. Wanted to jump in and do our live video today and just have a chat to you guys tonight around how many steps you actually need to take in order to be able to grow your business successfully. Now, it's really interesting. We get so many questions from therapists all the time around what do I have to do to build my business? What do I have to do to grow? Hey Sarah, hey Jody, great to see you guys on here. And we really talk to them about taking massive action, because a lot of people will get on a call with me and they'll say, hey, I've done this and this and this and nothing's happened and I really need help building my business. And cool, that's obviously what we do. But what I wanted to share with you guys tonight is just kind of break down like the actual steps that you have to take in order to be, I think of it as successful in order to build your business. So really what happens is that we're not taught how to do the business side of things. And what that means for us is that we don't really know the amount of action that we actually need to take. It's not so much like, I was just thinking that it might be a little bit like a massage treatment, but kind of like when we, you know that you need to do certain things and you know that you need to be able to do a few things on people and that you'll probably need a few sessions. It's often more work or more stuff that's needed rather than what they as the client think when they come to see you. And so really when we're talking about marketing, we're talking about building a business, getting the right mindset, getting the right mechanics, the right marketing in place to be able to grow the business to the place that you want. There's a number of steps that have to be taken. And if you talk to anybody who's grown their business and anybody who's grown it successfully, and my measure of success is that the person is thriving, the business is thriving, and the people around them are thriving too. That for me is my level of success. Great to see you guys on here. Love it. Hello, by the way. So how much action do you actually need to take to make it successful? And, I actually think that you need to do about 100 steps in order to make your business succeed. Now, obviously, different businesses, different outcomes, different goals, rock on. Some people are like, just want to see 10 clients a week, happy days. Some people are like, no, I want to see 25 and I want 3 staff. I want them to all do the same thing. Everybody's different. We've got the health leader ladder that we talk a lot about, where we have newbies and explorers and rising stars and kind of talk through the different levels and what has to happen in order to move people to the next one. Hey Nadia, hey guys, hi David, bunch of you guys watching, great to see you on. I was actually thinking about you today, Nadia. Send me a message after this. But the reason that I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is because when we're looking at something like what we call the health leader ladder, which is like 7 different levels that each therapist can potentially go to if they choose. Most people usually want to get to the third rung on the ladder, which is, so we've kind of got newbies. I've probably got it in here. We've got rising star and we've got explorer. Now, newbies is not necessarily new to the industry, but it is often people that are new in that they're not seeing a whole bunch of clients. Hi, Samantha, great to see you on here too. They're not necessarily seeing a whole bunch of clients, usually seeing 0 to 5 clients a week. Doesn't matter how long they've been in the industry. Biggest challenge with these guys is fear. Can they put themselves out there? Can they get their client a result? Do they know enough? Are they good enough at what they do? And once the people realize, therapists realize, I've got this, I'm really great at what I do, awesome, I'm rock on. The challenge is then, well, how do I tell people I'm amazing without saying I'm amazing? Because it seems a little weird, and it totally is. So we know that people have moved to the next level or explorer level when they're at a place where they're going, I know that I rock at this, and now I'm trying to educate my community on how I rock at this and why I rock at it, and then figure out what kind of marketing channels I need to put myself out there. Usually seeing 5 to 10 clients a week, charging a little bit more, and then once people have that in place, once they've got their marketing in place for that kind of level, the next thing is to create some systems to be able to grow, because you can't grow your business, doing everything manually one-on-one. The more structure you have in your business, the more mechanics you have in place, actually the better off your whole better off your whole business will be, because as you grow, it's not relying just on you as the practitioner and the therapist to grow everything. So that's the kind of 3 steps. And we've got a bunch more steps of hiring and scaling and industry leader and all that kind of stuff. But in order for people to get to that kind of base level of consistently seeing the amount of clients that they want to per week. So literally, whether that is, 5 clients, 10 clients, 25 clients, whatever that looks like for you, in order for people to get there consistently and to do it in a way that they're thriving, the business is thriving, people around them are thriving, you actually need to take around 100 steps. And the 100 steps is not just like, a bunch of stuff we made up, but it's really looking at taking the action in the direction that you want the business to go, but being willing to have behavioral flexibility if it doesn't go right. Now, what I mean by that is we were having a conversation with some of our clients yesterday around people who are working towards, something like launching an email newsletter. Now, there's probably 10 steps to launching an email newsletter. It's not the first thing to be thinking about, but it is definitely the mechanics side of things, because there's lots of bits and pieces that are included, and elements, tech elements and stuff in it. Whenever you have to do something for the first time, it's tricky. And it's really easy to go, it's just too hard, that's it, I'm done, I'm just going to tap out, and find all sorts of different excuses. It could be doing a live, it could be, calling clients you haven't seen in a while. It could be setting up a website, lots of different things that can stop us and get us challenged and make us go, nah, that's it, I just want to tap out, I'm not really interested in keeping on growing. But the thing is that having the right goals, having the right mindset is so incredibly important, because when you get challenged by these things and whatever challenges come up, you have to know how to move through them. You've either got to be so committed to your goal and be able to take inspired action towards it regardless of the resistance, or be able to just have something inside you that says, yeah, you know what, I don't care how hard this is, I don't care how challenging this is, I'm actually just going to do it anyway. I was talking to another lady today who is basically doing heaps of really great marketing. She's done a couple of Facebook Lives, got some clients out of it, which is great. She's got a Facebook page. She's worked with her son, who's quite tech savvy and knows Facebook and that sort of stuff. And we're still struggling with getting clients in the door. And when we're having this conversation, I'm like, okay, it sounds like everything you're doing all the right steps. Like, you're taking all the right action. But at the end of the day, if your community doesn't actually know who you are because you're in a really small community, then you've got to do stuff in the community to be able to get your name out there. And so I'm like, there's a couple of different joint ventures that I did with a bunch of the schools in the area, a few different promotions we ran over the years to be able to connect with the schools. And with school holidays coming up, hot tip, guys, go and get in touch with your schools to see if you can help support them in any way. And so she said, yeah, I called the school and I said, hey, I've got some gift vouchers if anyone would like to use them if you want to use them for a raffle or whatever. And they weren't really interested. And it can be so easy, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, where you go and do something from the, out of the goodness of your heart, and you also think that it's like it's going to grow your business and it's going to be a win for you and win for them, and the other person just doesn't get it, just doesn't get that, they don't get the value, they don't see the value in what's in it for them. And so we talked around another couple of ways that she could potentially go and talk to her school community in order to be able to serve them, because you've got to think what's in it for them. And at the end of a term, realize that your admin ladies are done and toasted and they don't really want to think. And so, you might want to rethink the offer to make it a little bit more interesting for them. Because, at the end of the day, they're the gatekeepers between you and the school that you want. And so, consistency and being persistent is actually really, really important. So I just think that, often we get so stuck in, but I've done these things, it's not working. We get really frustrated. But, at the end of the day, it is just about persisting. Because, sometimes people will be slowly learning. Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes they'll be like, I tried Facebook ads, that didn't work. It's like, well, no, if you tried some Facebook ads and they didn't work, what I'd say is that your ad just didn't work. So was it the right image? Was it the right copy? Was it targeted correctly? There's another 3 steps. If have you got your niche really clear? Are you trying to be everything to everybody and taking a scattergun approach to your marketing? Or are you being really specific and actually targeting the right people like, are you actually targeting the right people that you want to be seeing, that really lights your heart? And so be really mindful that there is so much more to do in business. I know when we go through the 6-week course with our clients, often people will say, oh my goodness, I've got so much to do. And, my first thought is good, because there's nothing worse than sitting in your clinic, twiddling your thumbs, going, I just don't know what to do now. I'm stuck. I would much prefer people have a whole heap of things that they could do in their business to be able to keep rocking out. Because the really interesting thing is that action precedes clarity. So the more action you take in your business, the more you learn what works and what doesn't. Now, the reason that we talk about taking, 100 steps of marketing or 100 steps of action in your business is because not every step works for every business. Every business is different. Every business is based on the business owner. It's a reflection of them. The business is not them, but it's a reflection of them. And so their business, if they want to grow it to the next level, they have to take themselves to the next level. But at the end of the day, every business is different and unique. They might have some similarities, but they're all individual. And so if you've tried something and it hasn't worked, it doesn't mean that thing doesn't work. But sometimes you've got to be willing to be persistent and actually just keep persisting. Because you know what? You're going to have days where it's challenging. You're going to have days where you're like, oh, everyone cancelled. You're like, oh, I'm sick of this. Oh, I'm just getting frustrated. It's like, okay, if you've been trying something for ages and it's not working, then try something different. Literally when I was talking to this lady, we had a couple of aha moments where she was like, you know what, you're right. I need to actually get into my community and get people to know me, because then every other marketing step she takes, it's going to be way easier. It's like she's literally building the ramp for people to come with her and come on board with her. She wants to see 10 clients a week. It's awesome. I can't wait I know that what she got today, she'll be able to put that in place and create that. And so it's really about being willing, and I encourage you to be persistent. Just continue to persist. If you're getting frustrated, acknowledge that. This is a really hard day today. But know that if you've only taken 4 steps in your business in putting yourself out there, if you've only taken 20 steps in order to put yourself out there, there's still another 80 things that you haven't tried yet. And so if you have literally tried absolutely everything, like every single damn thing, and you still haven't got the result, then you've got to look at, well, if you imagine your business or what you want to do is like a target on a dartboard or a bullseye. If you imagine where you want to go as a bullseye, if you are pulling your string back and letting the arrows go, but every time you're hitting, you're actually missing. You're not actually hitting, you're not even hitting the goal square, then you could take 100 steps of action and every single one of them will miss because they're not aiming at the right place. So you want to make sure that every step you're taking is actually getting you closer to your goal. And I'm yet to see any therapist taking the right action and not getting results. I'll see lots of therapists taking action, but the ones that are getting the results are doing what they know works for their business. And sometimes it's because we might have taught them some things, but also sometimes it's because they're just not willing to give up. Like, honestly, guys, in Australia, the only way to fail at your business is to quit, right? The only way to fail is to quit. Because worst case scenario, if your business doesn't succeed, we can, apply for the dole, which totally sucks. But worst case scenario, in Australia, if your business doesn't succeed, the government will pay you a little bit of money until you get a job. Like, it's ridiculous. It takes a lot of the pressure off. It's like, oh my gosh, what if I fail, whatever. It's like, who cares if you fail? If you fail, you'll learn. So simply just by actually being willing to show up and be consistent, keep asking questions. The people that ask questions in this group are ones that get answers, and when you get answers, you get unstuck, and when you get unstuck, you move forward. When you move forward, you take more action, and action precedes clarity, and then you get really clear on what you want to do. So tonight, the whole thing is about taking 100 steps of action in your business, and have a think about it. If you've only taken 30, if you've only taken 40 steps, if you've only taken 50 steps, you're still only halfway there. So if those 50 steps haven't worked, then keep taking action towards getting the goal that you actually want in your business and the amount of clients that you want to see. And there's a bunch of you guys that are on here right now that I know have successful businesses. And I would love for you to know, for you to share with us, if you're willing, to type in what was the thing? What was the thing that the difference that made the difference? What was the one thing that when you started doing that, everything started to change? Because I know that there's a bunch of guys on here who are looking for help and I know need some help and are wanting to be able to go, you know what, awesome, please, thank you, this is exactly what I needed. And you're really welcome. That's awesome. I'm glad that this is really helpful because I know sometimes we get stuck and it's when we go, ugh. Now have moments like that, but don't live there, because as soon as we go, ugh, everything in the business goes with it. And as our energy, wherever our focus goes, our energy flows. If we think everything's going to be bad, we're going to be right. If you think you can, you're going to be right. If you think you can't, you're going to be right. So the invitation then is that simply comes down to a decision to go, I can do this. Cool, I can actually do this. If there are other people out there that are running successful businesses, then I can too. Look for the recipe that they have. What do they do differently that you're not currently doing? Because if your business is not in the place that you want, then you have to do what you haven't done. You have to do what you haven't tried yet. You have to take action on something you haven't done rather than continuing along the path of doing what you know to be true or what you think is safe. So I would love to hear from any of you guys who have got to that tipping point and gone, yep, it's all rocking out. I would love to hear what is the thing that you think that made the difference that made the difference. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking about your business, how many steps do you reckon you've actually taken? Have you taken 10? Have you taken 20? Have you taken 150,000? I doubt it, but which would love to know from you guys, how many steps do you reckon you've taken on your business journey? If I reckon that it takes about 100 steps for people to go, yep, I've got this. Would love to hear what it's been for you and where are you at? Are you still sitting at 20 or 30 thinking that you've done so much, but there's actually a whole heap more to do? Exciting stuff. Thanks, Nadia, for saying that knowing who your target client is, absolutely. Just getting that niche right, getting really, really clear, really, really specific on the niche that you want to attract is a massive game changer, because it means every time you effectively fire your arrows, you're literally hitting the target every single time. I love this, guys, and that is really, really cool. Excuse me as I go down here. Being prepared to fail, acknowledge it, and strive to improve. Feels like I've taken 1,000,000. Absolutely, because there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. That was Walt Disney who said that. Walt Disney was sacked for lacking imagination. Imagine if he had have gone, yep, you're right. I just have no imagination. Like, my goodness, guys, could you imagine? I can't imagine my childhood without half the Disney movies that I watched. Whereas what he did do was go, okay, how could I be more creative? If I want to grow this, how could I actually be more creative with the people that I with what I'm making and what I'm doing? And he ended up creating Walt Disney. And then in Disney World, for him, he had seen that. He didn't see it before he died, but he had seen it in his mind because he was so clear on his goals and his outcomes and where he wanted to go. So there you go, guys. That's what I want to share with you tonight. Would love to hear if you're on your way, how many steps do you reckon you've done? If you've hit that tipping point, what did you do? What was the number one thing? Make sure you share that below, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a great night.